Thank you, Seamus. $25. Very generous. Ever check out Jordan Peterson's life-changing advice on how to take a shit? It's on YouTube. Gotta let go. Part of taking a shit is giving a shit. Like, you've got to change the fundamental context in which you're engaging. Like, you're giving, you're not taking. Fundamentally, that's something that's misconstrued. You're not taking from anything, It's like totally messed up from the start. It's like, that's why I've changed the language, No one's ever taking a shit. It's that they're actually giving a shit. That actually has a positive message. Because whether you're on the toilet or not, it's good to give a shit. It's like you're sitting there and you're like, you don't know if it's going to end or start. There's a time where you're not sure it's going to begin. And it's a lot like the way we see our lives. Like, when does it finally open up? When does it finally give us what we want? When does it finally break free from the constraints? Once it gets going, there's a new complaint. It's like, what is that? Well, fine. Gotten it going. You've got shit going. It's flowing. You say to yourself, when is it going to stop? It's a paradox. We demand the motion, and then we fight it once it's in motion. There's a lot more things we can learn from dropping a deuce. It's a lot of letting go. Some people who report when they have to have amputated. It's common that they go through a grieving period. I have a good friend who studies taking shits and the history of shit taking. The earliest human beings, from an evolutionary standpoint, they actually were crying when they shit because they were experiencing the first ever departure of their own body. Premise 1 is, it's healthy to drop a deuce. Premise 2 is, if it makes you sad, should you drop a deuce? And the answer is yes, because you have a duty. No pun intended. Like, you've got a duty to drop a duty. It's like, we take it for granted, It's like we live in this world of decadence where there's a bowl there for us. It's like before, you'd have to find a spot. You had some investment in where you shat. Now there's no investment. There is an entitlement. I have an entitlement to the ceramic throne. It's made us kings, and I think it's wrong, Now, I'm not saying get rid of all the toilets. It's expected that you're entitled access to a throne. And I don't think that's been good for society,